Hey, I'm John from Renton Sailing Center. Today we are going to rig an RS Quest. All right. Okay, welcome back here. I'm just going to lay the sail right in the boat there and set the rudder to the side. Will fit that once we get the boat in the water here. While I was over there, I also signed the boat out in the logbook. So really important thing to do. Hopefully if someone put the sail in the bag correctly, it looks like they did. It should be rolled in half and then the luff should come out first. Next thing to do, I'll main sheet. We'll go ahead and pull that out of the cleat, make sure that's all flaked down and ready to run. I'm gonna get rid of the hockles here right off the bat here. And we'll just do the same thing with the reefing line. That's just gonna sit in the cockpit for right now. Cleat on the port side of the mast. I'm gonna undo the Cunningham from there, and that will let all these lines that we've stored run free. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the main halyard out of the cleat. We are going to ease so the boom doesn't come crashing down into the cockpit here, and I can just let that go. The main bitter end of the main halyard is tied to the bitter end of the out haul with a square knot. I'm just gonna undo that square knot there. And then I am going to find the head of the sail. Perfect, someone rolled this up right. And then I am going to create a bight and run the bight from port to starboard. And then I'm just gonna pass the bobble right through here. That way the bobble winds up on the starboard side of the sail. And then you'll see that the track right here runs to starboard of the G-nav there. And then I can start feeding the sail into the track here and make sure, look up, make sure the halyard is not wrapped around any spreaders or anything like that. Everything is ready to run. And then I can start, I'm only going to bring the sail up right now just past the G-nav there. And I'm gonna go ahead and cleat that off. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start attaching the sail to the boom here. And then I'm gonna find the clue of the sail right here. There is a slug that's gonna go, there's a slot right there to insert that, and we'll slide that aft in here. I've got the out haul right here, and that is going to go from starboard to port through the kringle here. Then we're gonna go through the pad eye at the end of the boom here. Reeve that through there. And then this will get reeved through the cleat right here. And then I'm going to finish the out haul with a figure 8. We'll leave that well eased for now. We will trim that later when we are ready to set the sail for the conditions. So next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go up the luff until I find the reefing kringle. And then I'm gonna go all the way to the bitter end, make sure that this is all flaked out. And again, we are going to go starboard to port through the reefing kringle. Now, we've got it reeved through the kringle here. We're gonna reeve it through the fair lead that's on the starboard side of the boom. Then we're gonna go forward to the cleat at the forward lower end of the boom here. And again, a figure 8 at the bitter end there. We're gonna leave all of this eased for right now. We won't even bother trimming this except for to get a little slack out of it later. And we're obviously not gonna be reefing today. There's hardly any wind. All righty. What we're gonna do now is we're going to take a look at the wind direction. If the boats head the wind, we can go ahead and raise the sail right now. If the boat's not head to wind, we will put the boat in the water, we'll move it around so it's head to wind, and we'll do some of the other rigging items. Moving forward here, I'm going to go ahead and take the sun cover off of the spinnaker. Even if you're not going to use the spinnaker, you're going to have to take this off so you can unfurl the jib here. And then I'm going to take the sun cover, and I'm going to take the sail bag, and those are going to get hung on the fence. I'll be right back. Well, since the boat is head to wind right now, we are going to go ahead and raise the main. If the boat was not head to wind, we'd go ahead and launch the boat at this point, and we would get the boat head to wind and complete some of these things later. So I got the main halyard. I'm just going to look up and make sure we've got a fair lead there, and then I'm going to watch to make sure that the bolt rope is going into the mast track here, and I am going to go all the way up. You'll see where we get to a slug for the reefing point. We are going to, if we're going full hoist, we're going to exclude that slug from the track. And we're going to go all the way up. Let's see here. Oh, the vang is on. That's what's keeping. So that would be an important thing, is make sure that the vang is eased. And that gets the sail all the way up. There, I'm going to go ahead and cleat that off. All right, next thing I need to do is attach the tack strap. That is going to go underneath the jib halyard and the spinnaker halyard, but over the main halyard. I'm going to rotate these D-rings, and this just goes in a ladder lock fashion here, and then this Velcros back over there. The other quest we have right now is missing its tack strap, so that's going to be added later. There is a soft shackle on there right now. So we got this long tail of the halyard here. I'm going to go ahead and flake this down. Notice I'm not coiling it, so it runs out without any twists in it. And then I'm going to add this to the pouch right here on the starboard side of the sail. You notice if you're reefing, there's another pouch for at the reefing point there. And next thing I'm going to go ahead and reeve my Cunningham. That's going to go from the gooseneck, reeved through the Cunningham cringle, and then on the port side of the mast right here, we'll go ahead and there's hardly any wind, so I'm going to give myself hardly any Cunningham tension. Next thing I can do is I'm going to go ahead and trim my outhaul. There's hardly any wind today, so I want a fairly flat sail, so I'm going to go ahead and trim my outhaul on there. Take a little bit of slack out of the reefing line right there. Boom, just leave that slack so it doesn't change my sail shape. And we now have our sail up. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm ready at this point. I've got my bow line. I'm gonna go ahead and just launch the boat, pick it up a little bit. It's on some rollers there, so just let the rollers help you out there. And just tie a cleat hitch forward here. That's ready to go there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the rudder. These rudders will sink. They cost about $1,000, so if you don't like to go diving in there, that's how much they cost there. So be really careful stepping into a dinghy. These are unballasted, so you're gonna wanna step in just after the shrouds at the widest point and step towards the center of the boat as you're getting in. And then next thing to do is fit the rudder. There is a hitch pin in the top pintle. I'll go ahead and pull that out. And then make sure both pintles align with both gudgeons. If you only get one in there, it's sort of possible to do. You're not going to be able to steer the boat, and you risk breaking off one of these pintles here. So I'm just going to align those. All right, we got them both in there. And then this hitch pin is gonna go into the hole, into the top pintle here. Maybe? Ah, there we go. All right, rudder's fitted. All right, little trick if you need to, if the boat gets away from the dock, you can just backwind the sail there and bring the boat over to the dock. Now I need to put the centerboard down. I'm just gonna make sure that there's no lines in the centerboard trunk to get fouled, and that the elastic and the clip for that are also out of the centerboard trunk. This one has a nice little handle. I'm gonna pull it sharply back and down. There's a point there that there's a lot of friction there, so I'm just gonna step on it there, get that all the way down. This clip's gonna go through the handle to the elastic loop on the other side. I'm gonna clip it on. That just keeps the centerboard, if you run over something from, well, it'll pop back down a little bit so you can get it the rest of the way back down. All right, we are just about ready to go sailing here. I'm gonna go ahead and unfurl the jib at this point here. All right, that's all ready to go. So now I'm just gonna step carefully from the center of the boat at the widest point. Place the bow line under the spinnaker sheets in case I want to use the spinnaker. And then we are off and running. All righty. Now, a couple of things I can do right away, especially if it's a busy day sailing and so the sails aren't flapping around in the wind, not doing any work, is I'm gonna hop in, I'm gonna furl the jib, I'm gonna douse the main, and then I'm gonna pull up my rudder and centerboard, and then we'll pull the boat up on the dock. It's way easier to do the rest of the unrigging once the sail's down, the foils are up on the dock here. Here we go, stepping right into the center of the boat. I'm gonna go get a little jib furl here. There we go. I'm gonna make sure that this jib is furled tightly as possible there. That way the sunscreen covers everything. I've got the jib furling line cleated off. I've got the jib sheets cleated off. We don't want these boats sailing around on the dock. So next thing I can do, get my mainsail down. This should be all flaked, ready to run there. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this out of the cleat and start. Careful that you sort of ease it down so the boom lines up in the cockpit without it crashing down. I'm just going to pull the sail down to, right about there. There we go. And that gets that out of the wind without everything flapping around. Just going to leave the centerboard down for now so I got a little extra stability. I'm going to pull out the hitch pin first from the top pintle there. Don't bother attaching that to your life jacket or sticking it in your pocket. Just hold that in your hand. On the port side of the boat, there's a blue button. You can't see it from the camera. On the top gudgeon, I'm going to push that forward. And then I just lift straight up out of there. Hitch pin goes straight back into there, so it always stays with the rudder there. And then I'm going to go forward here. And we'll set that carefully on the dock for the time being and make sure that that doesn't go in the water. I'm going to undo the safety elastic from the centerboard there. I'm going to make sure all the lines are clear of the centerboard trunk, and that just gets pulled up and forward. All the foils are out of the water, sails down, so I can carefully step out at the widest point here. And then we are going to pull the boat around to the northernmost available spot. Makes it a little easier to get all the other boats in without having to go around a bunch of them. All right. Okay. All right. All right, just gonna get this lined up with the rollers here, and then let the rollers help you out here. See if a grown man can do this by himself here. I'm gonna give this one more go with a little bit more oomph. All right, cool. Now we're there. So you could just sort of see I got it as far as I could, push the boat down a little bit, and then we can pull the boat up the rest of the way here. Boom. All right. Hey, boat's out of the water. If we need to, we can take a break. We can finish up some of this, but we're gonna get right to it here. Put that over there. And I'm just gonna start undoing some of the same things I did. Disattaching the sail from the boat here. So I'm gonna unreeve the reefing line. That's gonna come out of the reefing kringle right here. Yep. Other way. All right, that's undone. The out haul, undo the figure 8 there, comes out of its cleat, out through the pad eye, out through the clew kringle, and then I can slide the slug out there. Okay. Put my vang on. I'll go ahead and ease the vang here for now. So I'm going to start taking all the stuff off that's at the tack here. We've got our Cunningham. I'm going to ease that out of the cleat here. Whoop. And of course the cleat grabs it there. That's going to go through the Cunningham kringle there. We've got our tack strap right here, a little Velcro, a little undo the ladder lock here, and the gnat's ready to go. Okay. Last thing, we'll pull the last little bit of sail out of the track here. We've got to undo the halyard here. Same thing, I pull that bight through, pull the bight through. Then while I got the halyard in my hand, I'm going to go to the end of the boom here, and I am going to go ahead and tie a square knot, reef knot, right over left, left over right. There we go, and that's tied together. Then I can trim my main halyard just until the boom's level right there, and then I will cleat that off. All right, sail's all loose. I'm gonna gather this up. If you've got 2 people, it's really, you don't even have to lay the sail on the dock. You just start rolling it from the middle, one person on the leech, one person on the luff. But since I'm by myself today, I'm gonna just spread this out on this empty piece of dock right here. Sort of risk getting some bird poops and stuff like that in the sail here. And then that's just gonna get in half here, just right along the sort of parallel to the battens here. Let's see, there's my next batten, so I'm right parallel to the batten here, and then I'll just start rolling here. And ideally, we don't want to pull it along the dock because it'll pick up splinters along the way here. Now, here in a sec, I'm going to get to this last batten right here, and it is a different angle, so I'm just going to put a flake in the sail right here. Boom, right there. Keep rolling. Okay. And then when I pull this sail out of the bag, all 3 corners are going to be accessible. So we'll go right over here, we'll grab our bag, and we're going to put it so the luff or the front of the sail comes out of the bag first thing. Sail bags have numbers on them that correspond to the sail. Okay. Got that flake bit rolled up in there now. Okay, now the rest of it's easier to get into the bag. All right. And we're gonna put this on the shelf so the number is facing out. So if you're, down here by yourself, you only have to open up this door and you can see the sail number there. Alrighty. While we're in here, a little soap water brushes and stuff, because we're gonna do a tiny bit of scrub-a-dub-dub on the boat here. So while I'm heading out here, I'll just scoop up a little bit of lake water. All right, and we're just gonna, if there's any scuff marks on the side, we'll try to give those a little scrub there. If we got any footprints, extra dirt, bird poop, we don't have to detail the boat today, just leave it cleaner than we found it. And boop. Oh, now I'm just gonna give it a little rinse here. All right. Now we just gotta put a couple more things away, tidy up some lines here. So next thing to do, I'm gonna go ahead and trim the main sheet. If you're on the Quest that doesn't have a main sheet cleat, you're going to tie an overhand knot on a bight right here and then just trim your main halyard a little bit more, and that'll be set there. If you're on this boat that's got the cleat, you'll just cleat everything. Get the boom level and cleat the main sheet. I'm gonna go start coils this time. Make the biggest coils I can here. That's gonna get cow hitched on the boom. Same thing with the reefing out haul. I'm gonna go ahead and coil that and cow hitch that onto the boom there. That's done. We've got all some spaghetti. We got the vang here. We've got some spinnaker sheets. And we've got the main halyard. I'm just gonna coil this stuff up here so it's not sitting on the cockpit getting all grungy and everything. Oh, and then we've got a furling line here to get coiled up in there too. Then I'm gonna take my Cunningham right over to boom, and that's gonna go into its cleat on the port side of the mast. Boom, that is no need to figure eight that. That'll just be something extra for someone to undo. All right, now I'm going to do a Flemish coil on the bow line here, just on the deck right in the foredeck area here. All right.